Welcome back to World Crisis Radio, Webster Tarpley, Washington, D.C. And remember, tarpley.net, and buy my books. You want to support this program. If you have questions, people send me questions. I often have to say, read the corresponding book. If you have a question about economics, buy and read Surviving the Cataclysm. If it's about Obama the Postmodern Coup, and Barack H. Obama, the Unauthorized Biography. If it's about international terrorism, 9/11 synthetic terror made in USA. Want to go back further in U.S. history, George H.W. Bush the Elder, the Unauthorized Biography. Now let's get back to Europe, right? With Barclays losing 8%, SocGen down 7% today, we can see the handwriting on the wall, and there are others that are not far behind, Commerzbank and so forth. This is now going to be a European-centered breakdown crisis, I think, although even if we look back to the previous depression, the second wave goes into the third wave very quickly. Second wave last time was that famous European banking panic of the summer of 1931, going from the Kreditanstalt of Vienna to the Donat Bank of Berlin to the default of the British pound, September 21st, 1931, the main event of that depression, not the crash of 1929. That was a preliminary. That was the detonator. But the bankruptcy of the British pound is what did it. And that's, of course, a disintegration. Now, we might get the disintegration of the euro, although I am committed to fighting against this, because I can see the people attacking the euro are who? The CIA, Goldman Sachs, the Bank of England, Morgan Stanley, City of London, Wall Street. You don't want to be jostling and sending water to their mill, do you? Well, that's what a lot of people are doing out of petty bourgeois rage and disorientation, I'm afraid, on many sides of the Atlantic. So what Europe obviously needs is the Euro-Tobin. Now, fortunately, we do have this Sarkozy-Merkel, really their respective bureaucracies, pushing them in this direction. The Euro-Tobin. Get the Euro-Tobin in place as fast as you can. It's the Wall Street sales tax. 1%, I would say. Not 1,000th of 1%, but 1%. You've also got to do what they've talked about, banning collateralized debt obligations, ban credit default swaps. You've got to ban, if not all derivatives, at least the most dangerous kinds, the ones that brought down New York and London in September of 2008. You've also got to start rating the agencies, in particular Standard & Poor's and Moody's. They seem to stand out, Standard & Poor's especially. Use the Michele Ruggiero method. Go there with the finance guards and grab their stuff. We see the Russians this week are raiding BP, British Petroleum. Good work. That's got to be the Putin side of things, because Medvedev wouldn't really ever like to do that. Now, we've had this idiotic charade about Obama's speech and Congressman Boehner's disrespectful insult. Of course, fine. What do you expect? That's Obama, right? You pal around with people like Valerie Jarrett and Bernardine Dorn and Bill Ayers, then you're not going to get any respect. So there it is. But forget the soap opera. The problem is Obama has no plan. He says he needed more time to go to Martha's Vineyard to cavort with the Richies and develop a plan. He has a laundry list, and it's in similar. The same problem that you had with the stimulus you have here is that it's a laundry list designed to appeal to this constituency and that constituency, and it doesn't get anywhere. Let's go through what Obama's likely to propose. These are all small-bore, impotent, ineffective things. They convoy money to the Richies, in this case Felix Rohatyn, and various people in Wall Street, but they don't do very much on the jobs front and practically nothing at all. Some of them are positively harmful. The idea of a payroll tax cut, it simply means that you're undermining the future solvency of Social Security because you're too cowardly to fight the Republicans today. So the American people are supposed to give up their pensions in the future for little Obama's political fortunes now. The payroll tax cut is a monstrosity. No, we want the full payroll tax collected. We want the cap lifted. We want all wages without limits. Infinite amounts of wages have to be covered by the Social Security payroll tax. There's also talk that Obama will cut the employer side of the FICA, the Social Security payroll tax, because part of it's actually paid by the worker, Part of it's paid by the employer. In reality, the worker pays all of it. But even the part that's nominally paid by the employer, they want to cut that. No, we don't want to reduce payments into the Social Security Trust Fund. This is Obama. This is a stealth attack by Obama on Social Security. Then we have the National Infrastructure Bank. This is the Felix Rohatyn Lazard Frere proposal. The idea here is that a certain amount of federal money will partner with private sector capital. It's simply a way to subsidize Wall Street investment banks, subsidize people like Felix Rohatyn, Peter Peterson, and these parasites. So this infrastructure bank, it may build a few roads. It'll probably privatize existing roads and slap tolls on them and call that an infrastructure program. That's nowhere. The highway bill. Now, this would be serious. Pass the highway bill. What we need is simply a continuing resolution to keep the highway bill going into the late summer and into the autumn. That would make sense, but of course it's not enough. School construction. Yes, we could use some school construction. We have reactionaries, right? This raving little petty bourgeois id in the Freudian sense. Mark Levin was raving that in Loudoun County, where he lives, the only construction is school construction, and this crazed little petty bourgeois is raving that this is a terrible situation. Obama's going to go with free trade. I think he's got 3 free trade agreements. He's got one with Central America, one with Latin America, one with Republic of Korea, South Korea. No more giant sucking sound. We don't need to send more jobs overseas. Patent reform, this is complex, but it's not going to make a big difference. The extension of unemployment benefits. Okay, let's give him that. The extension of jobless benefits should be done. Obama could also use executive powers to accelerate the remaining highway programs. Get that all going right now. That would be fine. The money's been authorized and appropriated. There's also talk of a job tax credit. Now, I'm in favor of that. We've talked about that here. With the Republicans, it's not going to have that much economic effect, but it mainly takes away a demagogic argument, because Boehner and these characters all say, oh, the job creators, the richies. I call them derivatives buyers and speculators and parasites. But for the Republicans, they're job creators. So fine. If you're job creators, so create, and we'll give you a tax credit, and you're taken care of. So now shut up and let's get down to actually organizing a recovery. Now, unemployment. 30 million people unemployed. These are some of the most highly trained people in the world. The economic value being lost by 30 million U.S. underemployed, unemployed, and discouraged who have given up. This is a colossal, tragic waste. The answer is federal credit creation for infrastructure and job creation. And in Europe, that means Kreditschöpfung für Arbeitsbeschaffung. And we'll get back to that. But most of this can be transposed to the European Central Bank. Back in a minute.